What's the profit
Okay.
margin on an $8 cup of coffee?
So I try to double.
$8 to sell and $4
$4 a
cost.
make. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're making a $4 profit on
Yeah.
each cup of coffee you
Yeah,
sell.
essentially, yes.
That is pretty good.
I would
It's
say
not
so.
bad.
I would say so.
What do
Okay, so she's got a 50% gross margin on her coffee, which if you remember from the lemonade video is the engine of the business, right? So $8 to make a cup, $4 her cost of goods, I'm assuming. I'm assuming that typically your cost of goods doesn't include, it just includes your direct costs, right? Your direct cost of the cup, the ingredients, perhaps your direct labor. If you're not including your direct labor, by the way, if you're a business owner, in your gross margin, you really should be. You want to segregate direct labor from your cost of goods because both are completely different costs. As Greg Crabtree says, labor is the only cost that comes to work with an attitude, and it's the one you can manipulate a lot more. I shouldn't say manipulate because it's an employee. I mean, you can adjust a lot more than your cost of goods. But let's assume she just meant the ingredients. So you've got $8 coffee, $4 cost of goods, you're left with $4. Now, what about operating costs, right? What does it cost her to rent a booth? What does it cost her to pay her employees? What does it cost to market if she's doing any of that? What does it cost for the management labor on staff or actually her salary, which I guarantee you, if you look at her financials, she's not showing her salary in her financials just because I've seen this a lot. Let's say her fair market salary is $70,000, but she doesn't include that in her financial statements. What she's doing is she's overstating her profitability by $70,000 because in reality, you need to look at the business like an investment. What is my return after all of the labor? If she's the owner and she's actually producing labor, producing the cups of coffee, then you need to include that in the fair market value because when an investor looks at the company, they want to know, hey, if I buy this company, what am I actually going to profit? I don't want to work in the company. But if I were to purchase it, what would I actually profit? And not including that $70,000 salary is going to manipulate the profitability. And for you as an owner too, right? For my accounting firm, I want to know how many hours I'm contributing to the labor and include that in my costs. So I know the true profitability of the business if I hired someone to replace my duties and I solely worked on the business, not in the business.